today's agenda, we have lots of things to cover. And I was thinking when I was preparing this deck, what we need to present, because everything is there in, you can say, in social media. So let's first trying to understand CISSP overview. Now here, first, if you want to achieve CISSP certification, right? First, you have to know what is CISSP all about. First, you have to understand what is CISSP all about. I always highlight one term in my session, and again here I am highlighting. You have to follow. You have to follow CQ method. Now, what is CQ all about? That means if you want to achieve CISSP, first you have to understand what is the context of CISSP. Because without understanding context, definitely it's difficult for you. Think like this: if you want to, if you are planning for your, you can say, long drive or for any holiday, right? Now New Year is coming, and I believe everybody actually planning for this. So you are planning for last 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or 15 days, right? Where you want to go and which place we are going, which hotel you are going to stay, right? What is your mean of transportation? Everything you are planning. Because if you will not plan, definitely it's difficult for you. So same like CISSP, you have to have a plan, right? Now, how you are going to plan? First, you have to understand what is CISSP, how much we have to read, how much effort we have to put, right? So that you have to understand the context. Just like info security, we are trying to understand, trying to identify gap analysis. So we have to do gap analysis, right? That means first we have to understand our current state, and then what you want to achieve. That means our desired state. So what is our desired state? CISSP is our desired state. Clearing CISSP is our desired state. Now first you have to understand what is your current state. You can say frequently basis, I am getting a call from many professors. They are working in one domain or one, you can say one module. I always say is module for last 10 years, or you can say 6 or 7 years. They are working only, or they are doing only audit. Definitely they are very strong in audit. He or she know how to perform ITEC audit, ITGC audit, SOC 2 audit, SOC 1 audit, right? ISO audit, everything. They are very strong in audit governance as well. But eligible for? Yes, they are eligible for, but how much effort they have to put? Have to actually judge. So that means you have to identify current state. You are working in network security for last 5 or 6 or 7 years. Definitely you are very strong in networking. But what about other module? What about other domain? You have to look into. So first you have to understand what is your current state, right? And then what you want to achieve. That means your desired state, right? So when you understand the context, these state will actually help you. Okay, how much effort you have to. Then after that, you have to focus. You have to focus to understand the content. That means content of CISSP. What content? Okay, the first domain is all about governance and risk management, right? So what content we have? Only risk management is there, or we have a governance as well? Under governance, right? What sub module or subtopic you have to read, and how? Because see, maybe you are a part of governance team for last 20 years, but what you are doing, that best practices is aligned with CISSP as per IC2. You have to understand. So that I'm saying you have to understand the content, and after that you have to focus to retain your concept. CQ method will help you to achieve CISSP. Mark my word, if you read 20 times CISSP resource, it's very difficult for you to clear this certification if you will not follow CQ method. Now, second hidden secret, I generally highlight this point. You have to follow fast method as well. Now, what is fast method? Forget everything. Forget. Now, what you have to forget? You have to forget what you are doing in your organization. Mark my word, what you are doing, more than 60 to 70% practices will not align with CISSP. So you have to relearn. And this is a difficult part actually. So you have to forget, right? Then, because maybe you are working for last 5 years or 6 years, you are managing firewall, Cisco or Palo Alto, or you can say FortiGate or Checkpoint. But in CISSP, definitely you are going to understand you have to focus on firewall, but not vendor specific, right? So what you are doing maybe is not aligned with CISSP point of view, right? So that I'm saying you have to forget what you are doing. Okay, then you have to put attention. Now, attention. I know that nowadays, in out of 24 hours, if you will go and see your digital well-being in your mobile phone, we are invest. You are actually, more than 3 to 4 and 5 hours we are on our social media and everything. So during CISSP preparation, trying to actually reduce that timeline. Okay, then keep it simple. Simple. One principle is there. It's a notorious word. KISS principle. It's actually part of our CISSP as well. That means keep it simple. What questions are talking about, you have to respond. Only that question. No need to assume anything. No need to do overthinking. If you will do, definitely you will get difficulty. As you know that complexity is enemy of technology. So keep it simple. If you need one firewall to protect your whole organization, you have to implement only one firewall. No need to implement 20 firewall. If you need only router, you have to go the router. Okay. And T means teach. And this is the biggest, you can say, hidden secret. T means you can teach. What is teach all about? If you want to achieve this certification, definitely you can make a group. That means you can say group study. Because CISSP journey is little bit, you can say like very vast journey, where if you will demotivate your partner, or your study partner will actually motivate you, and if your study partner will get some demotivation, you are going to actually motivate. So this is the most important. Okay, now another part you have to just understand about CISSP. CSSP is having, 8 domain. I will go and align how 8 domain will walk, and actually 8 domain is walking in your organization. Okay, so you know that CSSP. I am not going to highlight. You can already understand what is CSSP all about. Just I am going in this domain. So CSSP have a 8 domain. Domain 1 to domain 8. Domain 1 to domain 7 is continuity. Every organization are actually following these domains in your day-to-day life or day-to-day your operation. Now think like this. CISSP certification is, you can say, top leadership or management certification. You will not get any technical question, but you have to understand all technical stuff. Think like this. I'm just drawing small organization, you can say, security posture. So think like this. This is a router. This is a edge router, right? Maybe edge router is also in, you can say, like HA mode. Then what do you have? You have a perimeter firewall. Now this perimeter firewall, another router or switches, and then we have another firewall, right? And this is your trusted zone where you have a AD, you have your critical databases, you have your application, internal application, right? This is your DMZ, where we have your web server, where you have your DHCP server or DNS server, where you have your jump host. Here we have your IDS IPS, or you can say your DLP. Here you have your VPN, right? Maybe some resources on AWS or Azure or GC, right? Now think like this. You are a security head, or you are a CISO, or you are a VP security. Now what is your responsibility? Your responsibility to secure this environment. Now how you are going to secure? How you are going to secure? Think like this. Here user or customer or client, right, accessing your environment. Your employee also accessing your environment through remote location. Now every organization, as you know, that have some goals and objectives. And your initiative, your info security program, your info security strategy, your info security governance must be aligned with organization goals and objectives. Now think like this. If you are working in bank, now what is your organization goals and objective? Your organization goals and objective to maintain CIA of customer and client, confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data, right? If you are not able to maintain, what happens? Tomorrow or within 1 month, you will lose a business, right? Nowadays, you know that. If you are using any application and if you're getting any challenge to access, or maybe any attack happen in that application, you will break your contract, or you will leave that services, right? You are not going to use. You will actually shift. Now, as a security head, as a CISO, it's your responsibility to ensure CIA of your organization asset, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Now, how you are going to ensure? Definitely, you need security and risk management. That means you need security strategy. Now, how you are going to build? You have to first understand your business objective. On base of that, you are going to build your security strategy. Now, implementing security strategy, what do you need? You need info security governance. Without governance, you cannot achieve, or you cannot achieve your organization goals and objectives. If you want to enforce a policy, if you want to enforce process standard, no one going to listen, no one going to follow, because if you don't have a governance, if you don't have a effective governance, effective info security governance, and how you can achieve? When you will get management support. Management here means board. And how you will get board support? If your info security governance helping to achieve business objective, you will get. If your info security governance is not helping to achieve business objective, you will not get board support. So you have to know how you are going to build info security governance, how you are going to build info security strategy. So domain one completely focus about this, and also how you can do risk management. That means how you are going to analyze, how you are going to identify, how you are going to quantify risk, and how you are going to reduce within risk appetite so business can run. Because cybersecurity is business enabler. Business can exist without security, but security cannot exist without business, right? If business is there, then actually business actually helping out, so that organization hiring a security professional. So your goal is to support business with, or with help of reducing risk. So your info security, which every day you are doing. Now you are maybe, no, you are maybe you are not doing currently, maybe you are not part of GRC team, but after CISSP, your knowledge should be holistic because you have to support business. Now, after reducing risk, all these things, definitely asset security. Here, asset means data. How you are going to protect your data? Definitely, you have to do classification and categorization. Now, how you are going to do classification and categorization? If you don't know what you have, definitely you are not able to protect. Now, you can think like this. How many of you are aware about what type of data your organization is having? And what is the impact if any attack happen? And what is the impact if any business disruption happens? According to this, you are going to do classification and categorization. According to this, you are going to implement the control. According to this, you are going to actually follow your data life cycle. That means you are going to provide security through data life cycle. That means start to end. That means creation to destruction. Everything you are going to do. And every day, actually, your ISO office or your CISO office actually doing, ensuring to do. Now, you have selected any control to protect your data. So you have a two option to do this. The first option, you can develop your own control, right? Because you have a capability to develop. Now, here if I'm talking about control means PPT, people, process, or technology. That means control related to people, control related to process, or control related to technology. You have a two approach to do this. You are going to develop your own, or you are going to take third party help, right? For example, you want to implement firewall. Either you have to develop or you can reach out to any OEM vendor and you can take their services, which you are going to cover in domain 3. Completely security architecture and engineering. How you are going to build system. That means you have to focus on system lifecycle. Okay, and all best practices. Now, control has been built, or you can say control you have already adopted or acquired from third party. So what you need to do? You have to implement in your existing posture. That means if you're going to implement DLP, that DLP, you are going to integrate with your firewall, integrate with all servers, integrate with endpoint. It depends on what DLP you are going to implement, right? Now, after implementation, what you need to do? You have to give access to user, right? So here we are going to discuss how you are going to give access. That means how subject is going to communicate with object. Subject here may be user, maybe system. Okay. Now, you have implemented, you have given access to user. What we need to do? You have to do testing. Effectiveness of that control. You can think like this, the broader way. Any control, maybe policy, maybe you are going to, policy, maybe DLP, maybe firewall, maybe endpoint. And after that, when you test the effectiveness of your control, you are going to operate. That means start using. And when you are going to use, what happens? Maybe you will get incident, maybe you will get vulnerability, right? So you have to perform patch management, you have to perform configuration management, you have to perform change management. You have to do investigation if any incident happen. And maybe incident become disaster. So you have to do disaster management or BCP also, right? So everything is a part of this, which you are doing every day. Think like this. If you are a part of CISO office or you are a CISO, you are going to manage 1 to 7. Now 8 is also part of this, but it's completely development. That means don't take it don't take it wrong, you are not going to develop anything. But when your organization going to acquire or adopt, or you can say purchase any application, or maybe you have an in-house developer which going to develop any application, so all security best practices you have to follow. That means your software development life cycle secure by design, DevSecOps, agile method, right? Everything you have to follow. And definitely attacks, application related attacks like WASP-10, you have to focus, which a part of each and every organization. Okay, so this is all about CISSP. So you can understand it's a broader way, but No need to focus and no need to go in deep dive. You have to know each and everything in high level. Now you can just evaluate yourself which domain is strong, where you have to give less time, or you can say, you have to put little effort. But which domain you are actually first time encountering, where you have to focus more. This is the first hidden secret.